Speaking of something terrifying.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear something terrifying?
Please. I want it.
Have you guys ever heard of the prophecy of the popes?
Oh, boy.
No, I have not heard of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
I just came across this. We'll put the documentary link in the description. We'll have to try to remember that.
Yeah.
But I watched this documentary. Crazy. So this book was found in the Vatican archives in the 1500s. And it was authored by, what the author said his name was Malachi of Armagh, which he was a saint from like the 1100s or something.
This guy who wrote it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a saint in Ireland, I think. They said that he was like the first Catholic to go to Ireland. But this book has 111 cryptic phrases, and it's all written in Latin. And basically, it predicted every single pope from, what was the first one? The first one being Pope Sixtus the Fifth. No, sorry, Pope. These are really hard to say. Pope Celestine II in 1143, all the way to our current Pope, Pope Francis.
No way.
Yeah.
How did they even know they existed?
Well, it's called the prophecy of the popes. And so basically what it is, it's like it would give some cryptic definition or characteristic of a pope.
Yeah.
And it was all in order. But the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the
Uh-oh.
last one, it just says, what does it say? Sorry, hold on. My notes, I typed it so
Keep
fast.
us in suspense, will ya?
It said, Josh,
Josh, what did it say?
Hold on.
Josh, I need to know. I'm scared, Josh.
Where did it say it?
Who's outside? Who's knocking at the door?
Listen.
They're here, Josh.
Okay. Ends in a paragraph stating the end of the papacy, which is the end of the popes, the destruction of Rome, and Judgment Day.
Oh, gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis.
Yes.
That's
And
fun.
I can't get into all the detail because there's so much in it that's like freaky of how precise it was.
Yeah.
But then the argument is also because the cardinals, they choose the next pope, right?
Right.
So could they have used this book to choose a pope with the characteristics of that pope,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like it influenced their decision making.
And what's wild is that this prophecy of the popes predicted that it was Pope. I have 20 million popes written on it. There's so many. Was it John? Who was before Francis? It was Pope John.
John Paul?
Pope John the 23rd. No. Sorry. Pope Benedict? Yes. Wait. Jeez, I'm so sorry.
Eggs Benedict.
Can someone look up the Pope before Pope Francis?
Someone quick.
Pope Benedict. Oh, yeah, okay,
Pope
it is.
Benedict.
Yeah, Pope Benedict the 15th. It said that he would step down and that the final pope would come into power and he would be the last pope. That's what this book basically said.
And then it's the end.
Yeah, what's so weird is that Pope Benedict the 15th stepping down as pope, because you remember when that happened?
Yeah.
What?
16th.
16th? Okay.
16th Chapel.
Pope Benedict the 16th, when he stepped down, that was the first time in Roman Catholic history that a pope stepped down.
Yeah.
And that was it shocked the world. Like, what's going on?
Because
know
they
what he
usually
did it
die
for?
in their papacy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did he do it for?
It was a scandal, wasn't it?
No, they said it was like health reasons. Like he felt like he wasn't capable of leading the Roman Catholic Church. It was super weird. But what was the creepiest thing that I saw was that there's this place right outside the Vatican called St. Paul's Basilica.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that's where the Apostle Paul is buried.
Oh.
So they built like a church around it. But inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary is every single pope, like a picture of every single pope, starting with Peter, like the Apostle Peter, going to Pope Francis. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers to where you can put a picture.
They're filled.
There's one left after Pope Francis.
So they're following this thing.
No, that like it's.
I'm saying
back
they're
and
following.
forth.
They're following the prophet. Like if it's they're following the prophecy, they would only know. They know how many popes they have left. And
Potentially,
so,
yeah.
So they're planning. Like they must know something.
Yeah, throughout the papacy, like the whole history of the papacy, a lot of popes discredit it. And they're like, "This is hogwash," and a lot of popes are like, "This is legit."
Yeah.
But they have always said that once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. That's what. So all these popes.
So we have one more pope.
Potentially,
They're saying there's one more pope.
Or the
Yeah.
Antichrist.
or the Antichrist,
Or the Pope is.
or the Pope is
Interesting, because so the people back then building those temples and stuff had to have been following that or had got a similar prophecy or an idea or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
What's also very crazy is within the prophecy of popes, that book, he did something very cryptic within it, and it was the Pope right in the middle, halfway through. His line says, "Axle in the midst of a sign." So basically, like this is the middle of the sign, and they interpret sign as being like prophecy or the end of the prophecy.
Yeah.
And what he predicted in some part of the book, he said basically the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about to the second pope, or the halfway mark pope, was I'm sorry, I'm so brain foggy. 422 years. So from the first one that he wrote about to the middle one was 422 years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. And if you do 422 years from the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
No way.
Yeah. And
Weird.
gets even weirder. So this one pope, Pope John the 23rd, claimed to be a prophet. And he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus the day that Christ, or plus Christ's life. So 2,000 years plus
33.
33, you'd think, right? But Pope Benedict the 16th wrote a book about Jesus' birth and claimed that Jesus was not born in the year 0, but actually 6 years prior to that.
So
Yeah, they say it's before.
27.
So 27. So that adds up to 2027 as well.
cash out on your retirement.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
That is crazy.
the documentary. I mean, it's insane of like all these connections and stuff. And a lot of these scholars don't think that Malachi of Armagh wrote the book.
Mm-hmm.
They actually suspect that Notre Dame wrote the book, which is, if you know anything about Notre Dame, he did that basically all these prophecies and stuff.
Okay.
Who was also Roman Catholic. And so it's a weird thing.
Yeah, that's a weird thing just be laying around in your library.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I bet
yeah.
they got a lot of weird stuff in there.
It makes me wonder what's the oldest stuff they have in there. And also, when did
Yeah.
it start? Because you said the 1500s. So it's like they started a long
they
time
found
ago.
it in the 1500s.
But
but-
so when did the library start?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like that's
Yeah.
got to be wild, man. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I did a terrible job explaining it.
No, I followed you completely. That was
There's
great.
so many popes written down on these notes.
No, that's fine. I think that is that's something that's really. I mean, we'll tell in the next couple of years. I like that it's not that far off. That it's
Yeah.
like, hey, in next year's lifetime, you know.
Dude, Ninjas or Butterflies could be a podcast that goes into the end of time.
I mean,
could.
that's the plan till Jesus
Yeah.
comes back.
But I
The
just find
Vatican, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
The original one was built in 333 CE.
Wow, AD.
333. But this new basilica they have was built in the 1500s.
How did the Pope thing start? Do we know the origin of that?
They claim that Peter was the first
Yeah.
pope.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, like where it comes from. Like I mean, just all of the traditions of the
Yeah, I
Pope
don't-
of the Vatican. Like it makes me wonder, like where it all comes from.
I mean, Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when
guess that
Rome
makes
became a Christian nation, they started the Roman Church of Christians, right? But it turned into the Roman Catholic Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
I like the take that the Roman Empire was never destroyed. It became a church.
Yeah.
I like that take.
That's a good take.
It's a good take. You should take it.
It's took.
It's a two Pope take.
Consider it taken.
I just find it weird that they say it's 2027 and then all this stuff that's happening all around the world.
Yeah.
Threat of World War III, red heifers, Ark of the Covenant being found potentially.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We've had our time.
2027, baby.
Hey, it's not that far down the road.
Here we go.
Buckle up, baby.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never been so at peace regarding the second coming. And I think it's because reading that Circle Trilogy book series and Imagine Heaven.
Yeah. Also just the security. It's just like, he's like, I got you. Like, I got you. Like, you're good. Just trust it. Day by day. You're fine.